Hey there, it's Alex Roth, reviews editor for TechRadar, and this is the iPad Air, the best 10-inch tablet currently on the market. It's one of only a handful of devices that have earned our coveted 5-star Editor's Choice status. Instead of going with iPad 5 or the even newer iPad, Apple gave its skinny tablet the Air branding. Like the MacBook Air, it's a super light and thin device. It's skinnier than the iPad 4 and nearly half a pound lighter. It has the same Retina display as its predecessor, but the bezel has been shrunk to make the tablet a bit smaller overall. The iPad Air isn't the thinnest tablet out there, that would be Sony's Xperia Z2, but it's the only one with that awesome aluminum build. It just looks and feels great. However, that metal rear is a scratch magnet, and Apple's smart cover doesn't do a thing to protect it. I definitely feel the need for a third-party case to keep it safe in my bag. So while the soft-touch plastic of a Nexus tablet isn't as handsome, it does win for durability. So the iPad is slimmed down some, but it's those internal upgrades that really matter. Just like the iPhone 5S, the iPad Air has Apple's 64-bit A7 processor. 64-bit architecture is the future for mobile devices, and while only a few apps are currently optimized for it, more are coming, so the Air is ready for the road ahead. The iPad Air's overall performance is phenomenal. iOS 7 has improved multitasking, and the Air moves really well between apps. Even with just a gig of RAM, it rarely bogs down. iOS 7 also comes with controller support. The iPad is no Xbox, but there are some solid games on iOS that are more than just time killers. Personally, I love the tweaks and new aesthetic of iOS 7. My gripes are the same ones I've always had about iOS. It feels restrictive when compared with Android. You can't change the default browser, you can't download a new keyboard, and there are a lot of apps I just never bother with that I can't even delete. Everyone I know on iOS has at least one folder of junk apps they never use. Apple has taken big steps to make the iPad the most productive tablet out there. Apps like Numbers and Keynote are now free for customers on iOS 7. If you pair Pages with a Bluetooth keyboard, you may actually get some work done on your tablet. The iPad Air also uses Apple's Lightning connector. It charges super fast and there's no wrong way to plug it in, but it makes all your old cords and docks obsolete, which is a bummer. The iPad Air got most of the best stuff from the iPhone 5S, but two things are missing. First, there's no Touch ID. Also, the camera doesn't have filters. Everyone makes fun of iPad photographers, but I still can't see a reason to leave out this feature. Getting back to the good, battery life on the iPad Air is a big win. Apple claims 10 hours of watching movies, listening to music, or surfing over Wi-Fi, a claim we found to be accurate, even a little conservative in our own use. Standby time is even better. You can easily carry the Air around for 3 days of intermittent use before a trip to the charger. Apple's tablet app ecosystem is top-notch, but Android has been steadily closing the gap. iOS still has some great exclusives though. You won't find games like XCOM Enemy Unknown, The Walking Dead, Infinity Blade, or Threes on Android, or slick apps like Tweetbot, Mailbox, or Paper on your Nexus 7. Of course, entering the iOS club always comes with a heavy admission fee. The cost of an iPad Air stretches from $499 to almost $1,000 for a 128GB model. 32 gigabytes is something of a sweet spot for the average user. 16 is bordering on not enough for all your apps and media. When you're buying, remember that you'll lose about 4 gigs of space to proprietary software. The actual available storage on a 16 gigabyte iPad is 12.4 gigabytes. And Apple does offer the 16 gigabyte iPad 2 as a lower price alternative, but they're about to retire it, and you shouldn't buy one anyway. I have an iPad 2, and iOS 7 has really slowed it down. It's not worth the $100 you'll save. If you want to save some money, look for a used iPad 4, or wait and see if Apple brings it back as the budget option. So while the iPad Air is the current king, more competition is coming. Samsung's new Note and Tab Pro, or Sony's Xperia Z2 could steal the throne, and we're all waiting for Google to refresh its Nexus 10, but Apple has set the bar very, very high. I'm Alex Roth with TechRadar. Thanks for watching.